We open with a flashback. Young Marie Moreau experiences her first period at home. Confused by the blood, she ends up unleashing her dormant blood manipulation powers. Things go horribly wrong. Her blood literally attacks and kills her parents. Gen V, S1, E01, God, You. This tragedy shapes Marie's childhood. Then, present day. Marie is in a foster home, or group home, called Red River. She anxiously awaits the admission decision to Godulken University, God, You, a superhero college under Vault. She practices using her powers, showing both skill and insecurity. She's accepted to God, You. On arrival, she meets Emma Meyer, aka Little Cricket, a roommate with the ability to shrink her body, but with weird and gross side effects. They connect. Marie witnesses the glamorous/polished side of the soups at school: rankings, image, popularity, and ceremonies. Among others, Golden Boy, Luke Riverdin, Kate Dunlap, who has mind control or persuasion ability, but has to wear gloves so she doesn't accidentally use it, Andre Anderson, and Jordan Lee. There's a major incident at a nightclub. Marie and friends go out. They run into trouble. Some students are misusing powers, there is violence, and someone gets hurt accidentally. Andre uses metal and manipulation, and something goes wrong. Marie uses her ability to help stop the bleeding. Her blood powers are useful but also frightening. The event goes viral. As a result of that incident and campus politics, Marie is punished. She's expelled, or at least told to leave the crime-fighting program. There is debate about her place. Professor Brink and God, You make decisions partly to protect the established soups over the underdog. Gen V, S1, E02, First Day. This episode jumps right into chaos after the premiere. Marie is reeling from expulsion or demotion. There is campus tension. Security, rankings, peer pressure, and the politics of being a student are in full effect. Golden Boy, Luke, is struggling with visions of his brother, Sam, who is believed dead or missing. Those visions haunt him. He has emotional trouble admitting what he sees. Kate and Andre become closer, struggles with loyalty, guilt, and power. Kate uses her powers in tricky ways, often mind control or persuasion, but it's ambiguous how much she controls or suppresses them. Emma is also handling her own insecurities. She wants to fit in, but her power comes with a weird personal cost, physically and emotionally. Her relationship with Marie as roommate and friend begins to deepen. We also start to see hints of a darker side of God, You. There is a secret facility, lab, underneath. Students are being hidden or experimented on. Sam seems connected to the woods. There's a mystery about what the administration is hiding. Gen V, S1, E03, which continued from episodes 1, 2, 3, but I don't have a specific title here in sources, but grouped with Welcome to God, You premiere. The first 3 episodes are kind of connected in establishing the world, characters, and stakes. We see the student ranking system, the public image demands, and the internal pressure. Marie is trying to find her place. She doesn't initially see herself as fitting into the crime-fighting track, though that is what she wants. Luke is revealed to be part of the elite, Golden Boy. Others envy or resent him. Marie begins to challenge the status quo by saving someone at the club incident. Yet because she lacks the prestige, popularity, power, she gets punished. The idea that power is not just about ability, but also image, popularity, ranking, and who you know, is strongly emphasized. Kate's character begins to show internal conflict, her relationship with powers, guilt, and loyalty. Andre's desire to live up to his legacy, his father, Polarity, conflicts with his conscience. Emma's personal journey merges with the group's mystery about what's happening in the woods, missing people, experiments, etc. Gen V, S1, E04, The Whole Truth. Main plot points. 1. Aftermath of the Woods escape. The episode opens with Dean Indira Shetty and Dr. Edison Cardosa investigating Sam's cell in the woods after Sam and Emma's breakout. They discover a bloody trail of dead guards through the corridors. Indira finds a little shoe caught in a drainage pipe, suggesting Emma may have passed through there. 2. Marie, Andre, Jordan, and Kate search for Emma. They use GPS tracking to try to locate Emma, but only find a tracker that's been destroyed or smeared with blood. They separate to follow clues. 3. Sam and Emma hiding out. Emma wakes up in a drive-in movie theater or old drive-in outdoor screening location. Sam brings her there after the escape. He wants to plan what to do next, including thoughts of seeking out his brother Luke's help. Emma admits to him that Luke, Golden Boy, is actually dead. He died by suicide. This upsets Sam emotionally. Sam spirals. Destructive behavior, emotional outbursts. Emma tries to comfort him. 4. Tech Knight arrival and investigation. Vault sends in Tech Knight, a superhero detective of sorts, who hosts a show called The Whole Truth. He's there to investigate Golden Boy's death and the escape incident and figure out what's really going on at God U. He suits up with his super perception ability. He can detect subtle cues, lies, body language, etc. He begins interrogating Marie, Jordan, Andre, Kate, and even Dean Shetty. 5. Marie versus Rufus. Marie turns to Rufus for help locating Emma, since he has psychic power, but Rufus misuses the situation. He lures Marie into his room in a compromising or inappropriate situation. Marie resists. She uses her blood manipulation power to fill his exposed penis with blood and then causes it to explode. This is graphic and disturbing, but it's portrayed as self-defense. 6. Confrontation at Dr. Cardosa's house. Emma tells the other group that Sam is going after Dr. Cardosa. They converge on his house. Sam holds Cardosa's family hostage. Tensions escalate. Andre tries to intervene, using a fridge in an attempt to stop Sam. Other soups try to subdue him. Emma proves capable of growing, via consuming food, to a huge size to physically hold him down. 7. Tech Knight and Shetty's confrontation. As the investigation progresses, Tech Knight starts putting together bits of the truth about what's been hidden, the Woods experiments, and certain students' secrets. Dean Shetty fights back by blackmail. She uses surveillance footage, video, that reveals Tech Knight's strange compulsion or habit of being involved with holes in objects. Various round holes like tape, cones, etc., which is tied to a brain tumor. She threatens to expose him unless he ceases his public investigation of her or takes it off course. It works to some degree. 8. Relationships and revelations. Marie confesses that Jordan was the one who fought Golden Boy, Luke, in a key confrontation, whereas Marie had earlier let people believe she had done more. Andre is shaken by learning more about his father's involvement or knowledge regarding the Woods. His relationship with Kate is under strain by all the secrecy and dangerous choices. Emma's own personal journey merges with the group's mystery about what's happening in the Woods, missing people, experiments. 9. Ending/cliffhangers. Emma's size-changing ability gets spotlighted in the showdown with Sam. After eating a large amount of meatballs, she grows tall and strong enough to physically restrain him. The episode ends somewhat abruptly. After the fight, Marie wakes up in bed next to Jordan. It's unclear how they got there, whether time has passed, whether memory manipulation is still active. There's ambiguity. Themes and character development. Truth versus lies, secrets. The title The Whole Truth is reflected in many arcs. What is being hidden, Golden Boy's actual death cause, Shetty's knowledge and cover-ups, Marie's deception about who fought Luke, and the general concealment by Vault and God U. Power and responsibility. Many characters grapple with what they will or will not do with their powers. Sam's escape and his rage, Emma's growth into new power, Marie protecting herself in a violation situation, etc. Trauma and emotional vulnerability. Sam's grief over Luke, Emma's loyalty, Marie's conflict, Andre's conflicting loyalties, and the rust of his heroic ideals. Authority and control. Vault and God U's attempt to manage the narrative through Tech Knight, Dean Shetty's balancing act of being an administrator but also covering up dangerous experiments, etc.
Gen V S1E05. Welcome to the Monster Club. After establishing an earlier mystery, Episode 5 ramps up with memory loss and betrayal. Marie, Jordan, Emma, and Andre wake up after a wild night and realize they've lost chunks of time. They don't remember how they got there. They suspect Rufus, a student with telekinetic psychic abilities, as being behind the memory wipes. But gradually it becomes clear there is more to it. Sam shows up, and we see him going through hallucinations involving Muppets, both friendly and hostile figures. Disturbing scenes. This underscores how unstable his mental superstate is due to whatever was done to him in the woods. Kate is revealed to be behind some of the memory wipes. She uses her power on Marie and others. There is also an emotional aspect. Kate believes she's protecting her friends, acting under influence from Dean Shetty God U administration. She's torn, but also doing things she feels necessary. Andre is betrayed. The group confronts Kate, and she admits she has been erasing memories, Luke's memories of Sam too, under Shetty's guidance. The episode ends with trust shaken, questions about loyalty, and more urgency in uncovering the truth about the woods and what the school is hiding. Gen V S1E06, Jumanji. Memory and truth are central. Kate restores the memories she had wiped off her friends. Reactions are strong, especially from Andre, who questions whether his feelings for Kate are genuine or just manipulated. But restoring all memories at once strains Kate. She starts seizing. The group helps her. Marie uses her blood powers to stabilize her. They then get pulled into a shared mental memory space, Kate's mind. We see traumatic events from her childhood, how her brother disappeared, how her parents treated her, her isolation, and her psychological damage. There is a cameo presence of Soldier Boy in Kate's mind. It's an imaginary figure from her past, connected to her sexual awakening fantasies. He acts also as a warning that they are risking getting stuck in her mental landscape. Meanwhile, Sam and Emma explore their relationship in the real world. Emma finds Sam, and they connect more intimately, physically, and emotionally. The big reveal at the episode's end. They discover what Dean Shetty Dr. Cardosa has been doing in the woods is sinister. There is a virus being developed, capable of killing soups. It's not just containment or control, it's lethal. Gen V S1E07, Sick Main Plot and Key Events 1. Shetty's true plan revealed Marie and Jordan break into Dean Shetty's office. They overhear Dr. Cardosa muttering about increasing the viral infection rate and making her virus airborne. The plans are more dangerous than they thought. In her files, Marie finds out Shetty's backstory. Her husband and daughter died in Flight 37, a transoceanic flight hijacked, crashed, which Homelander was tied to in The Boys. This loss is the root of Shetty's hatred of soups, her motivation to eradicate them. Town Hall with Victoria Newman, There is a town hall event at Godulken University. Victoria Newman participates with Cameron Coleman hosting. The student body is upset. Issues about Soups' rights and accountability are raised. Marie meets Newman backstage. Newman reveals she has abilities like Marie's, blood manipulation bending, and possibly other connections, foster family. Marie contemplates whether she can trust Newman with the secret about the woods and the virus. Kate's conflict and betrayal of Shetty Kate, having been under Shetty's influence, tries to reconcile what she's done. But when the truth becomes clear, she decisively cuts ties. She forces Shetty to slice her own throat under mind control, thereby rejecting her mentor. Shetty's plan is exposed. Emotional beats and character arcs, Sam has moments of trying to be normal, partying, bonding with others, and letting loose. He's torn between rage, desire for connection, hatred, and grief. Marie is conflicted, the weight of secret knowledge, the risk of truth versus the safety of silence. She wonders what justice really looks like. Cliffhanger build-up at the end of the episode, with Shetty's preparations exposed. The stage is set for confrontation. The virus is now a clear danger. Stakeholders, students, Newman, Vout, Shetty, Kate, and Marie. Gen V S1E08, The Guardians of Godulken. Main plot and key events 1. Prisoners freed. Revolt begins. Kate and Sam initiate the freeing of test subjects from the woods. These are Soups who have been treated like lab subjects, experimented on and hidden away. Once freed, they incite a violent uprising on campus. Marie, Jordan, and Emma attempt to stop the violence. They're torn between wanting justice and wanting to protect innocent lives. Major confrontations and violent Soups versus Soups clashes across the campus. Non-Soups, professors, admin, adjuncts get caught in the crossfire. Violence escalates. The sound beacon is used to try to stop Soups, but it fails when destroyed. Kate's powers are prominent. She uses mind control, emotional manipulation, etc., pushing forward her vision. Sam follows her. Marie's tough choices. Marie is offered by Vought, Ashley, a chance to join the Seven if she kills Kate. It's a moral breaking point. She hesitates, torn between her friendship, justice, revenge, and self-identity. In a confrontation, Kate reaches to control Jordan's mind. Marie responds by blowing off Kate's arm. Intense, shocking. Homelander's arrival in Fallout. Homelander shows up in the final moments. After Marie wounds Kate's arm, Homelander appears, calls Marie an animal for attacking her own, and then lasers her chest. This abrupt, brutal moment stops the chaos, then a blackout cut. Afterward, Marie, Jordan, Emma, and Andre wake up in a hospital-like room, wearing gowns with no doors, imprisoned again, or confined in an unknown facility. Ending in teases for the future on TV, Kate and Sam are being lauded as heroes, despite being responsible for much of the carnage. The narrative is being framed by Vought Homelander's influence. Marie and her friends are blamed. Mid-credits. Butcher, from the boys, finds the woods and makes a comment. What a bunch of cots. Sets up crossover future plot.
Gen V Season 2, Episodes 1-3, Recap for Chance, Justice Never Forgets, H is for Human. Setting and context. Season 2 starts with a reset in tone and purpose. The world is still reeling from the end of Season 1. Marie Moreau, Emma Meyer, Jordan Lee and others had been imprisoned at Elmira and Godulken. Andre Anderson's fate was unclear but heavily felt. With some time passed, the characters returned to a more centralized location, Godulken University, under new leadership. A new dean, Dean Cipher, takes charge and imposes stricter, more militant control over SUPES. Meanwhile, underlying conspiracies are beginning to emerge, especially around Project Odessa, the origins of the university, and what it means to be a SUPE versus a human. Also, this season includes a tribute and major plot change given the real-life death of actor Chance Perdomo Andre. The show rewrites Andre's character off-screen with a heroic death, and the surviving characters' arcs now carry grief, memory, and the consequences of loss. Episode 1. For Chance, Season 2, Episode 1. The premiere opens with a gruesome flashback to 1967 involving Thomas Godulken, the founder trying to stop scientists from self-administering a variant of Compound V or a new blue serum. Things go horribly wrong. Bodily mutations, gore, death. We see the lab labeled Odessa Project. This establishes the origin of some of the show's mystery and horror. In present day, Emma and Jordan are released from Elmira, a high-security facility for SUPES, and brought back to Godulken University by Kate Dunlap. They are coerced into giving public statements, speeches that spin events in favor of the university bot, specifically a SUPES first, or anti-human ideology. They are under pressure from Dean Cipher and student life. It's revealed that Andre Anderson has died. He sacrificed himself during an escape attempt from Elmira, using his magnetic powers overexertedly inherited condition to try to open a steel door barrier. The strain led to his collapse and death. This acts both as plot and mourning. Marie is missing at first. She is off the grid, roaming, trying to find her sister Annabeth. Eventually she intervenes when she sees SUPE's confrontation at a bus stop, using her hemokinesis to protect SUPES or those being targeted, drawing attention, both good and dangerous, to herself. Emma struggles with grief over Andre, with her resumed life at Godulken, with being forced back into the mold she had fled. There are scenes of her using her power involuntarily under stress, shrinking without purging, etc. Jordan and Emma are both in a vulnerable place, physically, mentally. At the end of Episode 1, Marie is found by Emma, Jordan, and Kate. There is confrontation. Kate uses her persuasion or mind powers, Jordan defends Marie, Jordan uses force field. Things turn violent. Kate gets injured, bleeding, etc. The power dynamics within the group shift. Episode 2. Justice Never Forgets. The second episode finds the characters more directly under Dean Cipher's regime. Cipher is revealed to be more authoritarian, pushing for SUPE supremacy, more surveillance, propaganda, loyalty expectations. Emma and Marie begin to uncover more about Odessa. Marie is pressured to play public figure, forced to give upbeat statements about her return to Godulken, even though she's grieving and frightened. The tension between public appearance versus private truth is strong here. Kate remains in a hospital or comatose or severely injured state following her confrontation. When she awakens or semi-awakens, she's traumatized, something is deeply wrong. There are visions or episodes of violence involving medical staff or nurses, possibly under influence of her or others. The show plays with bodies, identity, and control in scenes that are both unsettling and symbolic. Meanwhile, Emma and Polarity, someone who has authority, parental role, begin investigating the archives, hidden documents of Godulken bot. They discover secret rooms, files, particularly relating to Project Odessa. Evidence suggests Marie has deeper involvement, or at least was part of the research for Odessa before birth, than she has known. Emma's powers continue to develop, behave in unexpected ways under stress. There is also a noticeable shift in the student body. Some supes and humans outside Godulken are accepting Cipher's narrative, or fearful, others are rebels, dissenting. The tension between those who go along for safety versus those who resist becomes more visible. By the end of the episode there's a shocking moment. Kate, having awoken, discovers medical staff have been killed around her. Possibly symbolic of how the corrupt systems are in play, and showing that violence permeates even safe spaces. There's an implication that Cipher or others are using incidents to stoke fear or control. Episode 3. H is for Human. This episode slows a bit to explore character identity, grief, public perception, and internal moral conflicts. There is also escalation of ideological conflict, humans versus supes, and how Godulken is becoming a site of propaganda and power molding. Marie tracks down her aunt and learns more about her past. She discovers that her parents were involved in the Odessa program before she was born. Also, she learns that her sister Annabeth has been living with the aunt but her whereabouts are uncertain. This adds personal stakes, family, identity, betrayal. Jordan is struggling with the expectations placed on them. Their ranking at Godulken is high. They are supposed to represent token supes, and they are being forced to use sanitized or marketable language or identities that feel false. The tension builds between self-authenticity versus public performance. Jordan confesses loving Marie. This is a turning point in their relationship. It deepens the emotional bond, but also adds complexity given the public pressures, secrets, and dangers. Another reveal. Jordan admits they were the one who attacked Kate, or at least implicated in it. This confession undermines some of the group's trust, reshapes how characters see each other, surfaces guilt. It shifts questions of culpability, memory, power. The episode also explores Sam's mental state. Sam without Kate's stabilizing power is more unstable. He is dealing with grief, frustration, and possibly guilt. He's less sure of what to believe about what happened. The themes of what it means to be human versus superhuman are stronger here. Physical powers are less the point. Morality, identity, who gets to decide, truth, are more central. Public perception, media narrative, power, authority are under scrutiny. The episode sets up stakes for members of the group: loyalty, secrecy, self-identity, and where resistance or compliance will take them. Overarching themes and implications. Loss and grief. The show handles Andre's off-screen death as foundational. The characters grieve, feel guilt, have unresolved questions. This shapes their behavior. Truth versus propaganda. Dean Cipher, the university, bought all push a narrative. Students are forced to lie, make statements, act in ways they don't believe. The disparity between public persona and private doubt is a recurring tension. Identity and authenticity. Jordan's struggles, Emma's power changes, Marie's past, Kate's body, each is wrestling with who they are versus who others want them to be. Power and control, both through superpowers and through institutional force. Dean Cipher's rule, surveillance, loyalty, coercion, especially over vulnerable characters. Past and mystery. The Odessa Project, Marie's birth origins, Godulken's history, what was done, what's hidden, all loom as forces that will drive conflict forward.
Gen V Season 2, Episode 4, Bags, Recap, Context and Setup. At the end of Episode 3, Jordan Lee had publicly confessed that they were the one who attacked Kate. That declaration throws the campus of Godulken University into chaos. The media and Vought launch an immediate campaign to discredit Jordan and spin the narrative. Meanwhile, Cipher, the new dean, steps in, threatening to expel both Jordan and Marie unless they settle their dispute in a televised arena fight. He orders them to compete for the number, one ranking. Jordan and Marie resist the idea of a fight, but under the pressure of being sent back to Elmira, they reluctantly accept. Their friends Kate and Emma join them in a plan to expose Cipher's secrets and subvert the fight. Major beats, and turning points. 1. Media and narrative warfare. The episode opens with the media machine in full swing. Firecracker and Vought twist the narrative, pushing the line that Jordan is a liar and that Kate was the victim, fabricating an entire lie about what happened to her. Kate cooperatively posts a video claiming she was attacked by starlighters and accusing Jordan of dishonesty. This amplifies the pressure on Jordan socially and institutionally. Vaught's influence and media control underscores one of the season's themes. Truth is what those in power decide it is. Even confessions and histories can be overwritten. 2. Cipher's ultimatum and the fight challenge. Cipher calls Marie and Jordan to his office and informs them the only way to correct the damage is through a direct televised fight. This gender-bender versus blood-bender battle will be broadcast to the world. Cipher pressures them. If they refuse, they'll be sent back to Elmira, a threat both dread. To prepare, Cipher begins private training with Marie, giving her tasks to refine her blood manipulation powers. One weird test: move a blood bag from table to table without breaking it. Then try moving a goat's blood, which, of course, goes catastrophically wrong. These exercises push Marie's limits. 3. Kate and Emma's scheme. Marie and Jordan visit Kate to enlist her help. Kate, whose powers are currently unstable, reveals a hidden room in Cipher's house with a humming door and a secret chamber. The group attempts to break in to gather incriminating evidence. Meanwhile, Emma partners with Harper and Allie. Emma learns more about Allie's strange power, manipulating hair, and devises a plan. Allie, disguised, helps Emma shrink and sneak into the ventilation system of Cipher's office to plant a tiny camera. The hope is to secretly record Cipher admitting that he is human, and then use that to blackmail him mid-fight. 4. The fight and Cipher's power reveal. The fight begins. What starts as a staged, symbolic spectacle quickly becomes terrifying when Cipher uses his power. By simply looking at Jordan, he takes control of Jordan's body like a puppet. Jordan, under Cipher's control, attacks Marie as the audience watches. With Jordan manipulated, Marie is forced into a showdown not just against Jordan, but against Cipher's invisible influence. It tests the limits of her power, her trust in Jordan, and her moral boundaries. She eventually defeats Jordan in the fight, though the victory is complicated. 5. Key revelation: Cipher's true nature. Kate's infiltration pays off. She and Jordan sneak into Cipher's hidden room and discover an old, burned man in a hyperbaric chamber, hooked up to machines. This is presumably Cipher's father, or a prior iteration tied to the Odessa project, or the origin of his powers. Intriguingly, Marie's tests show that Cipher's blood lacks compound V. That means he doesn't read as a typical soup, and calls into question how his powers manifest through a different mechanism. This suggests Cipher may not be a soupe in the traditional sense, but something else entirely. Character moments and dynamics. Marie and Jordan. Their bond is tested. Jordan's public confession and the subsequent fight put enormous emotional strain on them. Marie's love, loyalty, and protective instinct are foregrounded. Jordan, in turn, grapples with identity, control, and betrayal. Autostraddle notes Marie reassuring Jordan that she's on their side, no matter what. Kate. She walks a tightrope. Though once part of the deception, she decides to help Marie and Jordan. Her knowledge of Cipher's house and her broken powers make her a critical, unstable ally. Her confession that her powers don't reliably work adds tension. Emma. Often underestimated, Emma grows into a strategist and rebel. She organizes allies, Allie Harper, works with shrinking/sabotage tactics, and helps execute the plan. Her development this episode underscores that while not always in the spotlight, she is vital to the group's resistance. Themes and implications: power, control, and identity. Cipher's ability to hijack Jordan's body underscores the danger of unseen power. Control is not always brute force. It can be psychological, subversive. Truth versus.
Gen V Season 2, Episode 5. Welcome to the Monster Club. Tentative title. Known confirmed elements. The fandom wiki lists Episode 5 in Season 2 as Welcome to the Monster Club. The show's season overview hints that the second season explores deeper conspiracies, secret programs from the 1960s, and that Marie is part of it. Also in news coverage, Sister Sage from The Boys makes an appearance in a cold open a month before the action, interacting with Cipher and a burn victim. That suggests crossover events or deeper connection to the larger universe. Plausible recap and thematic beats. Speculative, informed by patterns. Based on how episodes 1 through 4 build toward conflict, media warfare, Jordan and Marie's fight, Cipher's secret chamber, etc. Episode 5 likely does the following. 1. Aftermath of the fight. Tension in the fallout of the televised fight between Jordan and Marie. Audience reactions, votes, spin, and how Cipher and the administration respond. The group, Marie, Jordan, Emma, Kate, regroup and reassess their strategy to take on Cipher. 2. Deeper investigation. The students dig further into Cipher's hidden chambers or the mysterious hyperbaric chamber discovered earlier. They may try to decode clues from what Kate discovered, old burn victim, humming doors. Given the Monster Club title, perhaps there's a metaphorical or literal club secret society of supers with hidden powers, or a gathering of powerful supes behind the scenes. 3. Sister Sage / crossover intrusion. The presence of Sister Sage suggests her motives become more central. She possibly confronts Cipher or exerts influence over the secrets he guards. The crossover may reveal her role in Vault's power structure, or that she has been manipulating events at Godulken. 4. Marie's identity and origins. Clues likely emerge showing Marie's deeper tie to the secret 1960s program mentioned in season summary. Perhaps someone references Project Odessa or hints that Marie was designed or selected. Marie may push her powers further under pressure, revealing new abilities or vulnerabilities. 5. Crisis / cliffhanger. Episode 5 may end with a dramatic twist, a betrayal, a public reveal, or a power play by Cipher or Sister Sage. Possibly someone is captured, or the students suddenly lose control over some event, leaving them vulnerable. 6. Character struggles. Kate deals with the instability of her powers, emotional fallout from betrayal, and guilt. Jordan and Marie's relationship is stressed by secrets and external pressure. Emma works more with her rebel allies, Harper Allie, to sabotage or gather intel.
Recap of General V Season 2, Episode 6 Jumanji, spoilers ahead. Gen VS 2 × 10 to the 6 inches Jumanji, recap and analysis. Opening and setup. The episode begins by revealing that the virus being developed in the woods is not meant to control the minds of supes, as previously theorized. Instead, it is a lethal virus, capable of making supes sick or even killing them, though it does not infect ordinary humans. Sam Reardon Asa Gurman, who had escaped the woods earlier, appears unaffected by the virus. His immunity raises questions and potential danger. Kate's collapse and memory restoration. The core emotional and narrative arc centers on Kate Dunlap, Maddie Phillips. After her confession in Episode 5 that she manipulated the memories of her friends under Dean Shetty's orders, she now collapses into a near catatonic state. In her comatose or semi-conscious condition, Kate involuntarily traps her friends, Marie, Jordan, Andre, and others, inside her mindscape. They relive traumatic, distorted memories and nightmares that reflect her emotional history and the sins she's been made to carry. Among these recollections, the group sees how Kate's childhood was shaped, her mother's neglect, Kate's early power misuse, the long years of isolation, and the guilt she's been bearing. A particularly powerful revelation is that Dean Shett coerced Kate for many years, instructing her to wipe memories, suppress truths, and enforce control over her peers. Kate's betrayal was not entirely voluntary, she was manipulated. Marie's heroic intervention and power unveiling. Faced with Kate's fading life, Marie Moreau steps forward in crisis. As Kate lies near death, Marie uses her blood manipulation powers as a form of emergency CPR, effectively reviving her. This act demonstrates both the strength and potential of Marie's abilities beyond conventional limits. The revival is dramatic and physically intense. Marie channels her life force, using her hemokinetic control to reboot Kate's bodily systems and bring her back from the brink. Emotional confrontations and growth. After saving Kate, Marie and Andre share a vulnerable conversation about their friendship, betrayal, and the burden of guilt. Marie admits how much it meant to her to get into Godulken University, and the emotional weight she's carried. Their reunion grows deeper even in turmoil. The reunion is interrupted when Jordan summons them to a new threat, the collapse of safety as the Woods' lockdown intensifies. Kate, recovering, is still unstable, her mind fractured from the psychic strain. The Woods and virus reveal. The episode ends with the group learning a major twist. The Woods is not simply a prison or holding facility. It functions as an experimental lab for soups, working on the viral weapon targeting superhuman bodies. This revelation reframes all previous events. The students' suffering, the secrecy, the memory manipulation, all may be part of a grander plot tied to biological warfare against soups. Themes and significance. Memory and identity. Kate's Mindscape arc shows how memories, suppressed or manipulated, shape identity. The trauma she internalized is as destructive as the external threats. Sacrifice and power. Marie's willingness to risk herself to save Kate indicates her growth. She begins to carry others' burdens, not just her own. Control versus autonomy. The episode underscores how characters like Kate have been controlled by Shett, by guilt, by expectations, and are now fighting to reclaim their choices. Science and weaponization. The virus revelation raises the stakes massively. This is no longer a school drama, but biological warfare. The conflict is no longer just among soups, but about survival. Fragility and redemption. Kate's collapse and revival is symbolic. Redemption exists, but it's fragile. Powers are destructive when misused, but also capable of healing. Recap of General V Season 2, Episode 7, Hell Week, spoilers ahead. Setting the stage, Episode 7 is a pivotal moment in the season, where many hidden threads pull together and the true power dynamics of Godulken University are laid bare. The students, already under enormous pressure from Vought and Dean Cipher's agenda, now face the reveal of deeper manipulations, ancestral secrets, and brutal betrayal. Key plot beats and revelations. Marie and Jordan investigate Shett's secrets. Marie and Jordan break into Dean Shett's office in search of proof that she is orchestrating something far darker than students realize. Inside they discover a hidden compartment containing documents tied to a mysterious plane crash that involved Shett's husband and child. As they sift through the files, they find names that connect Shett to past tragedies and political cover-ups. Their discovery suggests her vested interest in the cleaning up of soups may stem from personal loss and an obsession with control. During their search, they overhear Drive Cardoza, drunk and unguarded, speaking aloud about Shett's plans, confirming that she has been experimenting with a virus and pushing a murderous agenda. Shett, Newman and the virus plot. In a tense confrontation, Shett meets with Grace Mallory, from the Boys universe. She shows Mallory images of soups infected with a virus she has developed in secret at God U. She argues that soups must be culled for the greater human good. Mallory refuses to support her, labeling her plans genocide. Mallory warns Shett that she is becoming like Butcher. She cautions that Shett's path is dangerous, one of resentment and vengeance, not justice. Meanwhile, Shett reveals to one of her confidants, apparently quietly, that her husband and child were on that very plane that crashed, explaining her fixation on eliminating weak soups. Cipher, Doug and Godulken's return. One of the most dramatic reveals: Cipher is not the true villain, or at least not in full control. His real identity is Doug Brightbill, a man who has been used as a vessel for Thomas Godulken, the founder of Godulken University. Godulken, long believed incapacitated, has been psychically controlling Doug all along. Marie, while attempting to heal or stabilize Godulken's broken original body, inadvertently releases him from his mental prison. As a result, Godulken reasserts himself, severs control over Doug, and steps forward to take power again. After this release, Godulken begins replanting his dominance. In a chilling display, he kills a soup student with a seemingly useless power, making a statement: only the strong will survive under his vision. Internal conflicts and character struggles. Jordan feels betrayed after so much trust was placed in Cipher. Dean, grappling with whose side to choose now. The revelation shakes the foundations of alliances. Kate seeks redemption and clarity, trying to reconcile with the manipulation she's been part of and the guilt she carries. Her relationship with Shett is exposed as more complex than a simple student-mentor bond. Emma and Sam also re-examine boundaries. With Godulken's return, Emma begins setting clearer limits with Sam, recognizing the danger of unrestrained loyalty. Andre Polarity reveals a darker side. In this episode, he is healed of his seizures through Marie's blood abilities and enters the battle with Cipher. He confronts Cipher in psychic combat while others attempt to distract or contain the chaos. Cataclysmic Ending and stakes raised. In the concluding moments, Godulken fully regains autonomy, stepping forward with power and menace. His return redefines the enemy: not just a dean, not just a puppet, but a godlike figure intent on reshaping the soup's world. Marie walks away from the confrontation, Kate following her, leaving the battlefield to Godulken's newly awakened force. The penultimate episode ends on ominous tone. Godulken reclaims authority over the university, the virus plot is active, and only one episode remains to stop him.
Recap, spoiler heavy, of General V Season 2, Episode 8, the finale of Season 2, in English. Basic setup. Episode title: The Guardians of Godulken, Season 2, Episode 8, the 8th and final episode of the season. The season is set at Godulken University, the super-powered college from the series, with major arcs involving Marie Moreau, Emma Meyer, Jordan Lee, and others returning from the horrors of Elmira. Season 2 introduces a new dean, a war brewing between humans and soups, and the reveal of a large conspiracy tied to the school. The season builds toward a major climax. The identity of the new dean, Cipher, is revealed to be the series founder Thomas Godulken, and the finale wraps up multiple threads. Recap, plot summary. Opening and tension rising. The episode opens with the aftermath of the big reveal. Thomas Godulken, believed to be incapacitated, is reborn through psychic control and bodily takeover. His plan: cull weaker soups at Godulken University and reshape the future generation. Marie, Jordan, Emma and the remaining Godulken students realize the scale of the threat. The new dean is orchestrating a purge under the guise of curriculum and empowerment. Confrontation on campus. At the university campus, students are gathered for what is framed as a graduation, or ascension, ceremony, but it turns out to be a trap. Godulken uses the ceremony to identify soups he deems unworthy. There is a chilling sequence where a soup is forced to kill himself under Godulken's orders, showing the cruelty and the stakes. Marie and her friends mount resistance. They attempt to physically confront the dean, free captured soups, and disrupt his plan. The big twist and power shift. Key reveal: the person known as Cipher is not what he seemed. He was a puppet body Doug controlled by Godulken. Once Godulken's original body is restored, he no longer needs the puppet, and the full magnitude of his plan is revealed. In the chaos, Godulken starts walking across campus, selecting students to eliminate or force to fight each other, shifting from hidden threat to open war. Climactic confrontation and fallout. A massive fight unfolds. Students, faculty, and awakened soups clash. Marie shows new mastery of her powers, Jordan takes a stand, Emma steps up. The dean uses psychological and physical weapons. The episode ends on a cliffhanger. Godulken remains at large, his purge underway, heroes are battered but alive. There's a major shift in power on campus, the guardianship of Godulken has changed hands. The final scenes hint at broader war. Humans versus supes, bots' secret agendas, mass casualties looming and the campus no longer safe. The season closes with both victory and defeat, setting up the next phase. Themes and key observations. Power and purity. Godulken's plan embodies eugenic ideas, eliminating weak supes to create an elite. This mirrors real-world ethical nightmares, making the threat more than superpowered violence, it's ideological. Identity and rebirth. Many characters confront who they are. Marie embraces her leadership, Jordan comes into his power, Emma finds voice. Godulken literally rebirths himself. Education as weapon. The university, a place meant for growth, becomes a battlefield and a factory for power. The show uses the campus setting to explore institutional corruption. Connection versus isolation. While students are linked through the SOUP network, the finale emphasizes isolation, who will be chosen, who will be cast aside, and connection, who stands together. War and consequence. The episode pivots the series from college drama with supes to war with apocalyptic stakes. The finale doesn't promise neat ties, it promises chaos and change. My take, summary thoughts. This finale of General V Season 2 packs a punch. It redeems many of the season's earlier mysteries by delivering a big reveal, Godulken's return, and a consequential finale that doesn't simply resolve but opens new trajectories. The tone shifts from confusion, betrayal and hidden agendas into open conflict. If you're doing a recap, focus on the reveal of Godulken's identity and plan. The campus ceremony turned slaughterhouse. Marie, Jordan, Emma's growth and their stand. The closing war tone and broader implications for the world of the boys' universe. The episode may leave some threads hanging, as a finale often does, but that's part of its strength. It gives closure to some arcs while igniting the next. If you liked it, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more recaps like this.